knocked down before it can get through to Rask. Kevin Miller off the end boards. Tommy Cross under pressure right up the middle of the zone. Here comes Colin Murphy's shot, knocked down loose in Miller's skates. Rask makes a save, now it's in. Tommy Cross going up the middle, and a costly turnover for an inexperienced defenseman. And the Bruins are chasing the score.
It's not a bad decision. There was a potential play to be made right up the middle of the ice, but you got to be 100% sure that backhand feed had too much on it. It gets out in front of Spooner, and now the Bruins are in trouble. They're moving in a forward posture as the steal's made by Arizona, and then the attack was on. Somehow Rask got across and Rob Doan, but how this puck bounces up in the air and actually gets across the goal line in this scrum.
I could not hear the announcement, but I believe there's a coach's challenge here. So Claude Julien risking his timeout.
You know, you can make that argument for the initial contact by Vitale right at the top of the crease. I mean, he certainly got into the paint on his own before he got locked up in the battle with Miller, and I think that's what Claude Julien's hoping is going to go the Bruins' way.
After video review, the play on the ice stands. It's going to be a good goal. Boston forfeits the timeout.
McQuaid fakes the pass along the line, throws it into the slot. Here's the turnaround. Pasternak and Mike Smith makes a big save. Krug, top of the circle. Krejci hesitates, then skips one in, and Smith is under pressure as the Bruins answer. Spooner holds it on the half wall, draws Vitale. Krug in front, through Bergeron. Spooner far side. Krejci's one-timer tipped and a leg save by Smith, who now approaches Pasternak. Pasternak forward to the goal line. The quick one-touch return from Jimmy Hayes, who parks in front of the goal. The drive, Pasternak, and a blocker stop by Smith, who has been sharp.
So the Bruins are looking to put those dump-ins in areas where he can't come out and play it, as we just saw one. Allowed Kelly and Bolesky to get in there and create some havoc in the offensive zone.
Eriksson spreads it wide to force Stone to commit. Bergeron's drive, and a save by Mike Smith. Territorial advantage for virtually this whole first period, but trailing on the scoreboard. Chipchura backhands it out to the point. Ekman Larsson's shot, a stick save by Rask. Marchand breaks out of the zone, 1-on-2 with Bergeron crisscrossing behind him. Marchand against Bottker, finds Chara. Chara to Bergeron, saved by Smith. Ansel with 7 assists, leading the league. And a scoring streak that extends all the way back into the end of last season. Krejci off the boards, Miller's one-timer, and Smith makes a reaction save. Elias Reeder, the bad angle shot, and slings it off the corner board. Duclair gets it back in the corner. Gives to Reeder. Stone's blast, saved by Rask. Corner brings to Krejci. Tries to draw Chipchura. Here's Krug closing. The pass off a stick. Spooner gets it back. Spooner closes. Holds it, fires, loose in front. Bergeron with a whack sit across, and Dahlbeck spun around looking for his stick in the corner. Eriksson to Bergeron, walks down the zone, Deeks, and saved by Smith, rebound, saved by Smith, still a scramble. Marchand hammering away. Randall playing the body hard on the far side. Downey tips the puck out to center. Krug takes the hit to move it across the line. Krejci to Randall, a backhand, he scores! 2 games, 2 goals. Tyler Randall, and the Bruins have tied it up.
And Randall just missed finding Ronaldo on a nice sequence in the offensive zone, but high marks to Torrey Krug in the neutral zone. Able to read this play at center ice, and then that quick counterattack. This is what the Bruins talked about in the offseason. You know, not so much about breakouts and X's and O's, but about picking up and transition game and being quicker on the attack. And Randall, that nice drive right down the middle. They create the 2-on-1.
Possession hockey.
Puck management and layers. That's what they like the most about that game.
Cross. Duclair closing. Saucer pass. Oh! Huge timely save by Tuukka Rask. Reeder with a wide open chance. Here's Duclair to the Bruins. Dome finishing his check. Here's the wrist shot from Kelly, goes off the glass. Spooner, the backhand, back to Miller, tees it up, the bomb, handcuffs Smith, and that one hurt. Krug flipping the puck cross corner. Spooner takes it on the half board. He's got Bergeron in the slot. Back to Krejci. Krug on the far side. Now Spooner's shot tipped. Erickson jamming. Boyd Gordon gets the puck and sends it the length of the rink. 3-1 against Bergeron on the evening. But he got thrown out of the faceoff, and Chipchura had to take it. Bergeron won it. Here's a shorthanded bid, 2-on-1. Hansel and Reeder. Hansel saved by Rask. Back to work with a man advantage. Krejci has Krug on the right side. Wrist shot save, rebound loose. And the chip across the crease as Spooner got to the loose puck. Spooner back to Krug. He's got Krejci in the far circle. Krug's blast off the mast. Bergeron muscles it loose. Stick by Smith trying to get it out of there. And the Bruins scramble again as Spooner recovered it. Krejci scores! Krug to Krejci! Rask at one end, tenacity at the other. The Bruins have come from behind to lead at Arizona.
Well, this power play unit has just been so effective. It can get a little risky with Krug, but Krejci in particular on the back end, they turn the puck over, even though they have some good looks initially with the man advantage, and all of a sudden it's a 2-on-1 against Rask. The second of the period, and the second huge save. What a great read by Rask. A good push to get square and take away most of the net. The great pressure by Boston. Spooner did a terrific job initially getting this puck into the zone.
Wouldn't be surprising at all if he were done for the night. Vitaly has been very effective. Spooner to Krug, the tap back to Spooner in traffic, gets rid of it nicely to Krejci. Another one. That one went off Bergeron, I believe, jamming in front.
More confidence in him and his ability to defend and make the right plays.
You look at the last 3 seasons for Torrey Krug coming into this year. Here's Marchand sneaking away on Smith. He dekes. Hey! Scores! Brad Marchand with a shorthanded goal and a 3-1 lead in Arizona.
Well, Marchand's just going to stretch the zone. He sees the Bruins in complete possession of the puck deep in his own end. And he's going to fly the zone in behind. And the Coyotes take a chance. They try to stand in at the blue line after that indirect rip from behind. Julian get him on the ice in a situation where he's got to kill a penalty. He has his head up, makes a good decision, rips it hard up the wall, makes it tough to keep it in. And he's going to pick up his first NHL point.
Rask with a big save. The rebound, Reeder scores! Seconds after Marchand's shorty. And it's back to a 1-goal game.
Well, Reeder certainly's had a number of looks tonight. And he's going to finally cash in on a second chance opportunity. Rask able to make that initial stop, and there's too many bodies in his way.
David Krejci takes Pasternak's indirect lob. Krejci going through the traffic jam as Ekman Larsson goes down. Here's Chara's wrist shot, saved by Smith, and Smith. Arizona had 2 shots on its power play. Chara one-hands the puck away from Blacker. Chara stumbles on the pivot zone. He walks in, saved by Rask. Juicy rebound, but Kelly is Johnny on the spot. Blast. Stone grabs it, runs hard into Ronaldo's bump at the blue line. Chipchura, a top customer, holds on the backhand, brings it back to Stone. Crisscrossing with Ekman Larsson, looking for the shot. Rattles off Domes, likes the rebound, scores! Antoine Vermette, and a wild third period. It's tied.
Well, this period did not start well for Boston, but when they got the shorthanded goal by Marchand, maybe a false sense of security because the Coyotes just keep on coming. That little exchange out high when the Bruins can't make a breakout play. Twice the Coyotes were keeping this puck in the offensive zone.
Comes to the near side. Krug forward to the goal line. Erickson to Spooner in the rotation. Krejci taps back to Spooner, approaching Grossman. He scores! Bergeron on the tip. High slot, sizzling pass from Spooner, and the Bruins lead 4-3.
We've talked about this power play unit all season long, and again here tonight with a number of good looks. Everybody on the same page, Jack. Their ability to move the puck, their passing skills with this unit, and their mobility. clearly evident, and this is a play they haven't used a ton. They use it more as the bumper with Bergeron. If they can work the overload, the triangle on one side.
Anthony Duclair has not found a lot of space in the attacking zone tonight. Ekman Larsson to Duclair off Kelly's legs. Marchand, one hands the puck free. It's 2-on-2 off ice. Marchand against Stone. A blocker saved by Smith. Stick breaks and crosses out there without Lumber. Proctor on a tour of the attacking zone. Rask can't clamp down on it. McCulloch gives it back to the point. Dahlbeck shot blocked. McCulloch tees it up. Saved by Rask. A reaction save. In the power play. Minute and a quarter to go in the game. Bruins with the season high 42 shots on goal. Bergeron scores! Patrice Bergeron puts a lid on it. And the Bruins consolidate their Colorado gain with a win in Glendale.
And this is at the point on the power play where you're thinking about, all right, even strength coming out of the box. Do we know who's got who on the line change? We don't have our timeout, so we have to be well aware of what's going to happen here in the final minute 20. And Bergeron's able to step in, that little stop back, cut back move.
Not answering the rush of blood in his head. Final 10 seconds. The Bruins go 2-0 on the road after a disappointing 0-3 home start. 5-3 the final over the Arizona Coyotes.
Oh, this looks good on the Bruins, Jack. And to come out on the road, get away from maybe some of the criticism and that big, huge microscope on the 0-3 start.